Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Roger Dubuis Sympathie Bi-Retrograde Chronograph. You can see this 40mm manual wind rose gold sympathy chronograph and purchase it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images, and naturally complete pricing details for this Roger Dubuis Sympathie Bi-Retrograde Chronograph. Now, on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see that the watch has an impressive stance. Frankly, for a rather formal timepiece built in the late 90s, early 2000s, these have an immense amount of presence for the amount of wrist they actually take up. Now, 40 millimeters across what would be considered the broad of the case from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, the watch is relatively thick, 14 millimeters thick, and that's in spite of not being an automatic. And from lug to lug, it has a nice span across the wrist at 50.5 millimeters. Again, this is about as expressive as a 40 millimeter watch can be, a combination of its size, its shape, and the immense rose gold content, which gives it a warm character. Although avant-garde, it's not cold as modernism sometimes can be. Rather, it has a fluid shape to it, almost as if it were drawn in tension and then frozen into this form. Perpetually suspended between fluid and solid. It's incredibly handsome and intriguing, and it sits nicely on a smaller wrist like mine. I would say as small as 15 centimeters in circumference. You should be able to wear this watch with security and style. Now, the strap is held on by screws, which we like to see on high-end watches, especially heavy high-end watches like this, far more secure than spring bars. That's a measure of the attention to detail that was lavished on this watch, and likewise, you can see the combination of polish and vertical satin finish. The rest of the attention to detail was not laid waste. The watch features a very substantial calfskin on the bottom, alligator on the top, broad tapered black monotone stitch alligator leather strap. Now, the strap is broad, which is important because many watches that have wide lug spacings and wide cases nevertheless actually have small straps fitted to them, and those watches tend to torque back and forth on the wrist. With a full width strap, Roger Dubuis stabilizes this watch so it stays planted. It's comfortable and secure, and it features a gorgeous rose gold filigree style Roger Dubuis RD logo single fold deployant clasp, very substantial, polished inside and out. It's beautifully made and retains the crispness of its original manufacture. Now, the watch is two things at the same time. It's classical and it is progressive. It's classical in the sense that the size isn't overwhelming. At 40 millimeters for a compound complication, this is hardly in the modern paradigm of the oversized watch. It's full-sized, nothing more, nothing less. Now, the other thing that it has going for it is a very original portrayal of its functions. Now, you can see the hand-lacquered dial features a number of gorgeous tones, starting with the tachymetric scale printed in black, as are the retrograde and sub-registers for the constant seconds and chronograph minutes. You can see that there's a gorgeous, almost Georgia clay, reddish-brown, even slightly orange, stylized Arabic numeral hour track outboard, and then these flashes of blue, the flourishes on the retrograde registers and the chronograph minutes as well as seconds. Now, we'll start the chronograph, and it's powered by a crisp Roger Dubuis caliber 5630, 25 joules, manually winding. You can see that it's based on the great La Manna 2310 caliber, used at various times by Roger Dubuis, Breguet, Patek Philippe, Vacheron Constantin, and in caliber 321 form, it went to the moon aboard Omega's Speedmaster Professionals. But it wasn't finished like this on the moon. That's for sure. Geneva hallmark finish. You can see the Geneva seal stamped on the balance cock. It is beautifully rendered with a capped and polished column wheel. A lateral clutch, manual wind column wheel chronograph is pretty much the ultimate for viewing a caseback of a glorious chronograph in action. Now, I'm going to show you how you can watch the lateral clutch. You can see the driving wheel and the coupling wheel right here as it moves away from and into contact with the chronograph center wheel. So with a lateral clutch, the chronograph gives up all of the secrets of its mechanical mystery. And, again, because there's no winding system and we have a traditional column wheel, you can watch the recentering hammers fall on the register at center. Beautiful, and again, keeps no secrets. Gorgeous mirrored anglage on the edge of every bridge and cock. Beautiful cote de Genève across what's there. The bridges are slight, but there is a coat across them. All of the screw heads feature glorious polish chamfered around their edges. And you can see the size of that immense balance wheel, truly huge, almost a third of the width of the movement, beating away at a stately and traditional 18,000 vibrations per hour with a black polished swan's neck fine adjustment mechanism. This is as good as it gets. But of course, there is that bi-retrograde system featuring a day and a date, and that's another one of the pleasures of operating and owning this watch. Now, you'll forgive me if I cut to the chase, but everyone loves instant gratification, especially when it comes to a bi-retrograde day-date. The hour on the hour. Not just beautiful, not just emblematic of Roger Dubuis' practice of embellishing gorgeous movements with immense complication, but also crisp, awesome, beautiful, fun. It's everything a luxury watch should, alternately rich, imaginative, and beautifully executed. You can see it and you can buy it on our website.